go. We are recording. Okay. So, y'all, the next two sections of chapter 7, one of them is on something called permutations. And on Monday, guys, we're going to finish permutations and we're going to talk about this idea called combinations. Now, the difference between the two, y'all, is that in a permutation, it's an ordered arrangement, meaning in the order in which things come is really, really important. Okay. So a permutation, y'all, is any ordered arrangement of a given set of objects. And when we have the number of permutations, the symbol that we use, y'all, is this symbol right here, n with an exclamation point. And what that means is n factorial. And it's symbolized by n with an exclamation point. So when I say 3 factorial, just as an example, I'm not yelling the number 3, right? Like in English, right? Exclamation points mean you're doing it with emphasis. It doesn't mean I'm doing that. What 3 factorial means, y'all, is I'm going to take 3 times 2 times 1. I'm going to start going all the way down until I get to the number 1. And so 3 factorial, if we were to multiply this, y'all, 3 times 2 times 1, that would just give me 6, okay? But that's really what a factorial really means, okay? So let's take a look at the first problem we have here, and let's see if we can't make sense out of this. And it says, there are 8 performers who will present their comedy acts this weekend at a comedy club. And how many different ways are there to schedule their appearances? Okay, so look, y'all, first thing is we have 8 performers. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So the first slot, y'all, there's 8 people we can choose from. But once we choose one of those persons, now there's only 7 people we can choose from. And once the second person is chosen, now we only have 6 people to choose from. And then 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So y'all, you can do this on the calculator. You can do this in a couple of ways. One way you can do this is multiply straight across, 8 times 7 times 6 times 4, all the way down, right? The other way you can do this, y'all, and let me open up a window here, boom. I was asking about that calculator, y'all, and Rihanna, on your calculator, you have I know this is a graphing calculator, but you have a button right about here. It says PRB. Do you see it? It's kind of right there. Okay. So y'all, what I'm going to do, and I'm going to drop this link right here in the Prano chat so that you guys have access to this as well. So let me make sure I copied it. Boom. And let me come back over here. And I'm going to drop this in the Prano chat so that you guys have access to this as well. But I'm going to show you how I'm going to do that, y'all. So on my calculator here, guys, I'm going to hit the number 8, and I'm going to hit the button that says math. And right up here, it says PROB. I want to get to that PROB. There it is. And if you look at my number 4, y'all, number 4 has that exclamation point. So I'm going to hit that. And what that's going to do for me, that's going to take 8 times 7 times 6 times 5, all the way down. So if I hit enter, look, it multiplied it all out for me, okay? So y'all, what I was trying to do, that's what I was asking if you guys had that calculator, because on that calculator, and let me see, is this the one that they gave you that day? This is the one? Okay. All right, so guys, let me show you guys real quick. I'm going to show you guys here on this thing, because he has his 2, and this should work out. Let me see, let me turn this guy on, and boom, let's do this. Let's go to the document camera. So that, again, y'all, if you have this calculator that they gave you the other day, I just want to show you how it works, okay? Oh, let's move that guy out of the way. Let's do this. Let's hit autofocus so you can see it. And there's a lot of light on this thing. Here we go. So y'all, on this calculator, what I'm going to do, I'm going to hit the number 8. And then right here, there's a button that says PRB. Sorry, let me get my big finger out of the way. I'm going to go like that. And if you look over here on the far right, there's that little exclamation point. I'm just going to hit enter and hit enter again. And boom, there you go. Right? So it makes it real easy, greasy cover girl. So you guys, if they gave you this calculator the other day, Thank you, sir. Make sure you bring it, okay? So bring it because it's going to make a lot of this stuff super, super easy breezy cover girl to do, okay? Y'all, I dropped this one in the chat. You can use this one too. Um, when it comes down to the test, though, you need to have that calculator that they gave you or something similar to it, okay? And if you have questions like, how do I do it on my calculator? Ask me. I'll be happy to tell you, okay? All right, let's take a look at this next one. And it says, in an encyclopedia of language, the author presents 5 sentences that make a reasonable paragraph regardless of their order. The sentences are listed below. Mark had told him about the foxes. John looked out the window. Could it be a fox? However, no one had seen one for months. So what they're telling me is we're going to organize those sentences and we can put them in how many different ways. So y'all, look, we got 5 sentences to choose from, right? Is it 5 sentences? Looks like there's only 4 of them, right? Am I missing one? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I don't know why it says 5 if they only gave me 4. All right, well, let's do this. Boom. So y'all, we got 4 choices in the first spot, 3 choices in the second spot, 2 choices here, and 1 here. And again, my friends, I'm going to do that same thing, right? I'm going to hit my number 4. Boom, 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 boom. Hit the number 4. I'm going to go math. I'm going to go to my probability. I'm going to hit number 4 again because that's where my exclamation point is. And I'm going to hit enter, and I'm coming up with 24. Boom. Yeah, I don't know why it says 5 sentences if they only give us 4. It must be a little error. Okay. There are 6 performers who will present their comedy acts this weekend at a comedy club. One of the performers insists on being the last stand-up comic of the evening. If this performer's request is granted, and how many ways are there to schedule the appearances? Okay, so look, y'all, we're going to go like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? There's 6 people here. But we got somebody who says, you know what? I want to be the last person. So this is the last person. There's only one choice for that, right? Whoever that is, that's the only choice. But if we had 6 people to choose from and we've already chosen one for this position, doesn't that mean there's only 5 people to choose from there? And once we pick one of those, now there's only 4 people to put there, and only 3 people to put here, and only 2 people to put there, and only 1 right there. So y'all, I'm going to take my calculator and we're going to multiply that out. Look, y'all, this right here, this part is the same thing as 5 factorial, right? So I'll grab my calculator again. I'll hit 5. I'll hit math. I'll go to my probability. My exclamation part is my number 4. And I'll hit enter, and I'm coming up with 120. Okay. Boom. There we go. All righty. Y'all, for the next one here, it says you need to arrange 9 of your favorite books along a small shelf. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do, y'all, I'm going to draw a little picture. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, and how many different ways can you arrange the books, assuming that the order of the books makes a difference to you? So y'all, what book I put first is very important, and what book I put last is very important. So again, I got 9 choices, 8 choices, 7, all the way down, my friends, to 1. Again, this is the same thing as 9 factorial, right? So again, y'all, it's going to be very straightforward. 9, hit your little PRB button, right? Sorry. Hit your PRB, hit number 4 so you can get to that factorial. Hit enter, and I'm coming up with 362,880. So 362,880. Boom. There we go. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at the second problem that we got here in our list, y'all. It says a television program is arranging the order that 5 movies will be seen between the hours of 6 p.m. and 4 a.m. Okay. So look, y'all, I got 5 movies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. It says 2 of the movies have a G rating and they're to be shown in the first 2 time blocks. Okay. So look, y'all, these are the first 2 time blocks. This is my first, my second, third, fourth, and fifth. So we have 2 movies with a G rating. So there's 2 choices we can put here. But once we pick one of those movies, there's only 1 choice left for the second one, right? Okay. One of the movies has an NC-17 rating, and it has to be shown in the last time block. So there's 1 movie that we're going to put right there. Okay, given the restrictions, how many choices can the 5 movies then be placed? Okay, so y'all remember there's a total of 5 movies. We've already dealt with the first 2. We've already dealt with this other one. So we've already dealt with 3. Now we only have 2 other choices left. So one of those 2 choices is going to go here, and the other 2 choices are going to go right there. And all we're going to do is multiply and come up 4. All right, let's see what else we got here, y'all. Okay, for these next problems here, guys, these are going to be strictly calculator type problems. Look what it's asking me to do. Evaluate the factorial expression. Y'all, the one thing I would encourage you to do when you're doing something like this is to use your calculator, obviously, but I would also suggest, my friends, using parentheses. So when I do this on my calculator, y'all, I'm going to enter them in like this. I'm going to use parentheses to do this. So I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to go parentheses. I'm going to take 34. I'm going to go math. I'm going to go probability. I'm going to go to my number 4, 34 factorial, right? Close it off. Divided by parentheses again. I'm going to go 29 math, right? Probability. Boom. Number 4 factorial. Close that off. And I'm going to hit enter. And here's my answer. So y'all, I'm coming up with 333, 907, 20. 333, 96. What was already forgot? Boom. 907, 20. Sorry. Boom. And there we go. But I would highly encourage you, use the parentheses. And notice where I put my parentheses, y'all. I put them on these sort of like the outsides. What I mean by the outsides is that my factorial, my little exclamation point, my friends, is on the inside right there. Okay. And then, y'all, I'm going to do the same thing for my next problem. Okay. Same way. So I'm going to do this, y'all. I'm going to go on my calculator. I'm going to go 18 factorial divided by 15 factorial, just like that, right? And again, I'm going to take my calculator right here. I'm going to go parentheses, 18, math. I'm going to go probability, boom, get my little factorial, close it off, divided by parentheses again. We had 15 factorial, boom, close it off, right? And hit enter. And I'm coming up with 4896. Now, y'all, when you're doing these things here, I want you to be careful. And the reason why I want you to be careful is before today, had anybody ever seen that used in math before? Probably not, right? So, y'all, when you're doing your calculator, right, what we're depending on is like how accurate is this thing right here? And it's pretty accurate, right? But, y'all, in Spanish, we say, when we look at this, whatever we got here is la palabra de Dios, right? It's like the word of God. That's the answer, right? That's what it has, right? But if I make a small mistake when I enter it in, it's not that I got the answer wrong. I made, right? Like my fingers are real fat fingers. So when I'm pushing the buttons, if I hit, I meant to hit a 5 and I hit a 54 because my finger hit both of them, then I'm going to get the wrong answer, right? So just be careful when you're doing it, okay? That's kind of my point. Y'all, I got another one very similar. So again, I'll do it the same way. 355 factorial divided by 354 factorial. And again, I'm going to do the whole thing, y'all, with parentheses, okay? So parentheses 355 factorial, close it off, divided by parentheses 354, boom, factorial, close it off, hit enter. Ooh, look what it says. The calculation exceeds. Man, my calculator can't even do that. Okay, let's do this real quick, y'all. Let's come back. We're going to erase this. My calculator wouldn't even handle that for me. Okay. I want you to think about 355 factorial. Let's think about what that means. That means 355 times 354 times 353, all the way down till I get to the number 1, right? Okay. Let's think about what is 354 factorial means. It means 354 times 353 all the way down till I get to the number 1. Now, y'all, if you remember from when we talked about multiplying fractions or reducing fractions, numbers on the top, my friends, can cancel with numbers on the bottom. So guess what? That 354 and that 354 are going to go away. And that 353 and that 53 are going to go away. And every number all the way down till we get to the number 1 is going to go away. What's the only number we're going to be left with? 355. Boom. And then you're done. Okay. All righty. Y'all, for this one here, I'm going to enter it in exactly as I see it. Okay. So look, I'm going to come back here. Let's clear this out. I'm going to go 5, math, probability, number 4, factorial, right? Minus, what are we subtracting? 2 factorial. Okay, so I'm going to go 2, math, probability, boom, number 4, factorial. I'm going to hit enter, and I got 118. Okay. Boom, there we go. All righty. All right, I got a couple more to do, y'all. Let's do these next 2, and we'll talk about something a little different. We'll do the first couple of problems here, and then we'll stop, okay? So let's take a look at this next one. Again, y'all notice it's already set up for me, and they have parentheses, and notice how they have them, right? Boom. So the factorial, guys, is on the outside. Y'all, remember when we talked about order of operations? Like, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. What are we supposed to do first? What does the P stand for? Anybody remember? Parentheses, right? Okay, let me ask you a question. What's 6 minus 3? 3. Boom, factorial. That's all you're going to do. So, guys, I don't even need my calculator really for this. Look, remember what 3 factorial means? 3 times 2 times 1. Boom, 6. Right? I didn't even have to go through all that. Okay. Let's look at this next one. Remember, y'all, I'm going to do what's in parentheses first. So I'm going to leave my upstairs alone, but my downstairs, 9 minus 2, 7 factorial. Y'all, just like we did that problem right now with the 355 factorial and the 354, I'm going to show you guys something. Look, 9 factorial. Remember, that means 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 times 5, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. And 7 factorial means 7 times 6 times 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. And just like we did a little while ago, y'all, remember, stuff on the up is going to cancel with stuff on the down. So look, my 1s will go away. So will my 2s, my 3s, my 4s, my 5s, my 6s, and my 7s. And look what I'm left with. 9 times 8. Boom. 72. Right? There we go. Sorry, guys. Okay. So, y'all, there is something called the permutation formula. And the permutation formula says the number of permutations possible when R objects are selected from N objects is given by this formula. Okay, y'all, just like we did before, and Leo, I'm going to borrow your calculator again if you don't mind. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. So, y'all, I'm going to show you again how to do this on the calculator that we have here. So let me switch back over to the document camera. Boom. Okay, we can see everything there. Guys, I'm going to switch back one more time. But because I want to show you how I'm going to use this formula to do this part right here. So if you notice, it says 9 permutation 5. So y'all, if you're using this calculator right here, what you're going to do, you're going to hit the button that says 9. We're going to hit our PRB. If you look at the first option, it has that NPR. So I'm going to hit that button right there. And our number was, what, 5? Yeah, 5. Okay, our number was 5. So I'm going to come back here. Let me hit the number 5. I'm going to hit enter. And there is my answer, right? So it's going to be real straightforward. Again, if you got this calculator that they gave you the other day, it's going to be real easy breezy cover girl because you're only having to hit that one button. You're only having to hit that one button. So y'all, when I do this up here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to use that graphing calculator because that's what I got, right? And so the way I'm going to have to do mine, y'all, on this calculator, I'm going to hit the math button. I'm going to go to probability. I'm going to choose number 2 because that's my NPR button. Now, let me zoom in so you can see what I got here. Okay. See, on this one, y'all, it automatically, I have to put that button first. And then we had a little 9, so I'm going to put a little 9 right there. And then with my arrow button, I'm going to put a little 5 right there. And I think we got like 15,000 and something. And there it is, right? 15,120. So on your calculator, it's easier to do than it is on this one. But 151.20. Okay, boom. All right. So y'all, we're almost done. Let's just do a couple and we'll call it a day. So, y'all, I'm just going to do these next problems on this page and then we'll stop from here. But it says a club with 18 members is to choose 3 officers: the president, the vice president, and the secretary treasurer. So, y'all, I'm going to do it like this: 1, 2, 3. The first person is for the president. The second one is for the vice president. The third one is for the secretary treasurer. So when we do this, the order in which we pick them is really, really, really important, okay? So y'all, we have 18 people and we're gonna pick 3 of those, okay? And so again, y'all, I'm gonna use my calculator here and I'm gonna do the same thing we did before. I'm gonna come back here, I'm gonna go math, probability. In my case, it's number 2. And we got 18. And we're picking 3 of them, right? Boom. And y'all, I'm coming up with 4896. That's how many different ways we can pick for those 3 positions. And the reason why, when we say it like that, y'all, is like, just for an example, if I pick Alexis first, and then I pick Sarah second, and then I pick Andre over here, okay? Andre. That's different from me picking Andre, Alexis, and Sarah. Because when I pick Alexis, Alexis is the president. When we pick Sarah, Sarah is the VP. When we pick Andre, Andre is secretary treasurer. But if we pick Andre first, and then Alexis, and then Sarah, they're at different positions. And that's why we say the permutation, the order is really, really important. Okay. Let's take a look at the next one, y'all. It says, for a segment of a radio show, a disc jockey can play 8 records. If there are 12 records to choose from, and how many ways can the program for this segment be arranged? So look, we have 12 records, and we're going to pick 8 of them. Okay. So again, y'all, a lot of this stuff here, my friends, is going to be strictly calculator work. Okay. So let's go to number 2. And we said we have 12 and we're picking 8. And I'm coming up with, a big number, 199, 584, and 2 zeros. 199, 584, and 2 zeros. So 19,958,400, right? Bunch of different ways to do that. All right. And the next one here says, in a race in which 12 automobiles are entered. Okay. So we got 12. And there are no ties. How many ways can we pick the first 3 finishers? So look, y'all, this is first place, second, and third. Oops. So we have 12, and we are going to pick 3. Okay. So we come to math, probability, number 2. And my friends, we got 12, and we are picking 3. Okay. Boom. And I'm coming up with 1320. Okay. There we go. All right, y'all, we're going to pick up the rest of 7.2 on Monday. Okay, we'll pick up the rest of 7.2 on Monday. We'll do another problem kind of similar to what we're doing. We'll also talk about permutations of duplicate items. Okay, and we'll figure out how to deal with that. And we'll also do 7.3 on Monday. Okay, y'all. So I'm going to stop recording. Boom.